Hello, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jessica Bloom, and I'm with Nicholas House. On Monday, January 17th, the country will celebrate the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was an important civil rights leader. With courage, he led a lot of protests for civil and human rights. And on August 28th, 1963, Dr. King delivered a special speech to a very large group of civil rights marchers gathered around the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. In a few moments, I'm going to read you a portion of his famous speech. The book is entitled I Have a Dream by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., paintings by Kadir Nelson. So find a comfortable spot in your home and listen carefully to what he said. Invite your mom and dad to join you. And are you ready? Okay, let's get started. I say to you today, my friends, that even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up about the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of justice. I that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children are able to sing with new meaning, "My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. I sing. Land where my fathers died, land where pilgrims from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, we will let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city. We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, Black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Hi, boys and girls. I hope that you enjoyed this special story about Dr. King's dream for a better world for all girls and boys, men and women. Please help to keep Dr. King's dream alive by remembering to be kind and treating others with respect. And don't forget that by helping others who are less fortunate, Dr. King's message will remain important for a long time. And thank you again for joining me today. Have a good evening.
Celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. I say to you today, my friend, he faces troubles. Know that I don't tomorrow. I still have a dream. It is a dream to be rooted and to amazing dreams. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, the state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have dreamed that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as brothers and sisters.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of only that, let freedom ring from every stone mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from the Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill in Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Support social justice for all.
Hi, I'm Bella Luce.
And I'm Nisha Ball, and we're here from the G3 Robotics team at Midtown High School. I believe that the most important aspect of the civil rights movement was the community formed out of solidarity and common interest. Lifelong bonds and connections were born out of the civil rights movement. Principles of equity, justice, and compassion were integral parts of the movement. These values are lessons that help us connect with other cultures and show understanding to those who need it. The movement was a rallying cry to Americans everywhere, impacting lives even today. It mobilized advocates of all walks of life to stand up for their beliefs, encouraging equity and humanity across the nation. The civil rights movement created a culture of a compassionate and fearless belief in tolerance and inspired countless social justice movements, and it's far from over. To me, social justice has created an environment where I'm not afraid to speak out on the issues that I'm passionate about. I've learned to embrace the differences of my peers and celebrate my own. I've discovered communities of like-minded people who I've learned so much from. Despite there being lots left to accomplish, social justice has made me hopeful for the future.
In order to cultivate the beloved community that Dr. King talked about, society must teach children to embrace each other's differences. Schools could integrate a transparent curriculum that reflects the past and incorporates a culture of equality and acceptance in the classroom. Teaching future generations values of tolerance and equity could ensure a brighter, more hopeful future for our community. Historically, not everyone has had the opportunity to explore the field of STEM because of overly exclusionist views. However, access to STEM has become increasingly accessible, but there is still so much more to be done. Increasing children's exposure to STEM allows them to explore the possibility of a career in STEM, an industry expanding in its importance. Allowing children to pursue their interests regardless of economic status breaks a decades-old cycle of poverty-induced disparities.
Thank you so much for having us on here today.
Thank you.
When I think of social justice, I think of everyone being created equally. Maggie, what do you think of social justice?
I think of social justice is Black Lives Matter. Like Martin Luther King had a white friend, and then his dad said that he couldn't be friends with Martin Luther King. So that wasn't being treated equally, like Jack was saying.
Totally forgot. I'm Jack Matei, and this is
Maggie Matei.
That's actually all.
Hello, my name is Vaijayanthi Burma. As a pastor, Dr. King often preached about his beloved community he sought to create. To him, the beloved community was a realistic, reachable goal he believed would come to fruition if a critical mass of people learned the value of nonviolence. He recognized that conflict was an inevitable flaw in humanity, but understood and reiterated it could be resolved in a peaceful manner. We as a society should be following in Dr. King's footsteps. We should embrace our differences and understand each other's flaws. We should strive for redemption and reconciliation after dissension. We should foster loving relationships with one another and realize each other's strengths. In other words, love thy neighbor as thyself. In his 1963 sermon entitled Loving Your Enemies, Dr. King states, "With every ounce of our energy, we must continue to rid this nation of the incubus of segregation. But we shall not, in the process, relinquish our privilege and our obligation to love. While abhorring segregation, we shall love the segregationist. This is the only way to create the beloved community." Thank you.